Sounds good.
Welcome to Make 2021. I'm Charlie, the social media manager at Slice, joined by Mallory, a creative strategist, aka genius at Facebook. And her role focuses specifically on small business. Welcome, Mallory.
Thanks for having me, Charlie.
So, social media can be a major local marketing channel for your pizzeria. Mallory has so many amazing social media insights to share with pizzerias, big and small, no matter what your comfort level is with social media. For a lot of small business owners, just getting started on Facebook and Instagram is the hardest part. Mallory, you have so many great insights to share with these shop owners, but let's start with some basics. What do you tell local businesses who are struggling to figure out what their content should be about?
Yeah, so sometimes getting started is the hardest part. And I think the first thing to know is Facebook and Instagram is a great platform for you to try things out on and get started and kind of build the muscle and build up your confidence. So I like to kind of compare it to inviting company over to your house. So if you have company over, the first thing you're going to probably do is clean up. So make sure that your profiles are clean up and you've got everything decorated the right way. So profile photos, cover images, make sure that those have your brand included in them. So simple tip for your profile photo, just make it your brand logo. The same thing that you'd put on your menus or that you have, decaled on your windows. Have that be your profile photo so that people see it and instantly know the name of your shop. Have your bios updated with your store hours, where you can get delivery from, a link over to their menu in the Slice app, like all of those things that just kind of create a nice clean house. And then a great place to start, especially with food content, is starting to gather insights from your customers and community. So a good tip is to look at the geotag of your location. So when you're setting up your profile, make sure that you have your address, and then you can tap that address and look at all the content that's been shared from there. So if your customers are taking the perfect Instagram shot of their lunch or their dinner, and they've checked into your location, you can see those photos. You can look at your tagged photos. You can look at comments on those images and comments on things that you've posted before, which will just start to give you insights about what people like. Maybe you think that you have like the very best meatball sub in the land, but really people keep sharing photos of buffalo chicken pizza, right? Like that's a great indication to you that maybe buffalo chicken pizza is where you should focus your attention. And then starting to just post content, particularly in stories like polls, QAs, quizzes that ask people questions like, do you want to see meatball subs or buffalo chicken pizza? And they'll tap and let you know. So it's a great way to take the pressure off yourself when you're getting started and use the community to give you those insights about what to be creating.
Those are some great suggestions. I'm getting a little hungry, as I always do with this job. But tell me, so you just mentioned so many great insights and so many different pieces of content they can focus on. It sounds like a little overwhelming, I think, and a little bit daunting for some of the people watching. So how would you sort of recommending sort of structuring it and organizing it so it doesn't become such a daunting, sort of overwhelming task?
I work specifically with small businesses. So businesses just like the pizza shops on here. So this is something we think about constantly. How do we take these suggestions and start to simplify it? When it comes to your content, getting a little bit organized goes a long way. So we've created sort of content pillars and categories. There are 3 words that start with the same letter. So hopefully they're easy to remember that you can start to think about what to create content under. So we say engage, educate, and excite. So when you're thinking about your content, we don't want you to, be in the shop tossing pizza dough thinking, oh my God, I need to take a picture of the dough as it's flying in the air. Like that's going to be really disruptive to your day and to your business. So instead think about, okay, in this educate pillar, this is where I'm going to tell people important information about my shop. This is where I'm going to tell them that we have extended Friday night hours over the summer. This is where I'm going to tell them that we are now delivering, exclusively on Slice. Right? This is where you're going to give them information about how to interact with your business and things that they need to know about you. And then you have engage. Exactly what it sounds like. This is content that's really supposed to get people hungry in this case and get people really interested in what you're sharing. So this could be how you make that amazing buffalo chicken pizza. This could be how you support your local community. Maybe you want to be known as the place for local business people to come in for lunch, right? This is where you share that kind of content. And then finally, under Excite is where you have things like buy one large pizza, get a medium for $5. Hey, we're introducing a new slice and a soda special. Or hey, everybody on, when you're allowed to do this and have lots of people come in post-pandemic, hey, we know Saturday is, soccer game day. Everybody that's played soccer, come in your uniform and get a free soda with your purchase or something, right? So that's where you get the offers and get people excited for things that are happening in your location. So if you think about those three categories, and again, not creating content on the fly, pick a day of the week that you're kind of quiet at your shop. Maybe it's a Wednesday afternoon where nobody's really coming in, you've got some downtime. Set up a couple shots, think about it ahead of time, and get maybe 5 or 10 photos taken, save them in your phone as April content, and then set an alarm maybe every Wednesday at 2:00, and it says post on Facebook and Instagram. And then when that alarm goes off, you open that folder, you pick an image, write your copy, and send it out. So it's just sort of like creating really simple, easy habits and not putting so much pressure on yourself to say, oh my gosh, I haven't posted yet this week, I need to post. You don't have to do educate, excite, and engage every single day, all three of them. You can do one of them a week. You can rotate and do one a week, just as long as you're getting the content out there and building that muscle and building your confidence. Like, posting content is about sharing the content. So the only way to do it is to just do it and make some time for it and make time that fits into your schedule.
Those are great tips. I love educate, engage, excite. And I love the idea of doing one big shoot so you can sort of get ahead and get, a month's worth or several weeks worth in one sort of one big shoot. So speaking about the shoots, I know like posting really high quality content is important, but it's hard for people whose expertise is making pizza and running a pizza business. So what simple tips do you have for shooting content that looks great without having to hire a professional photographer or videographer and paying out that to vendors?
Yeah, so the beauty of Facebook and Instagram is that you don't need to actually produce really high quality images the way that maybe you used to have to do if you were going into print ads or if you're thinking about TV commercials, right? Like, the money just starts to add up and it becomes really unapproachable. You have a great camera on your phone. Start there. Use your location, because people are going to want to see what your pizza shop looks like. So use the location environment around you. I'd say the only thing that you should probably invest in, and it's a pretty small investment, is a tripod. Like I said, really low cost, but it's going to allow you to stabilize your camera, get some interesting views, and not put so much pressure on your two hands. And if you're a little nervous, maybe your hands are shaking, it's going to give you a really steady hand if you're using the tripod. And if you have room in your pizza place for a broom, you're going to have room to store a tripod because it folds up really nicely. The other thing is, and I think pizza places are great because they usually have a big window in the front of the shop. Take your photos near natural light. You can see, this is not where I usually work from, but this is the room in my house that has like a really big window and the sunshine comes in really brightly. And having great lighting is one of the biggest factors in the quality of your photos. If you see a bad photo and a good photo, chances are lighting is playing a huge factor in what's making you think something looks good or doesn't look good. So those are just like a couple of ways to use the environment. And then as you're taking your photo, one thing that's really important is having a clear focal point. So don't worry about, do I need to have, flowers and props, and should I scatter Parmesan cheese everywhere and maybe the red pepper flakes look nicer? Like, don't overthink it. Your product is, you guys are so lucky as pizza places. Like, you have this amazing, delicious product. Like, let that be the hero and don't crowd or clutter the post with too much other stuff, and just focus on like really strong appetite appeal, because your goal is, as people are scrolling, they stop and are like, oh my God, I need pizza. And think about that lens as you're taking all of your photos. And again, like, simpler is better. Use your natural environment. and don't overcomplicate the image.
I like the idea of a sprinkle of flour and red pepper flakes, though. A little style to the photos. Okay, that's super helpful, and I think that sort of simplifies it in a way that a lot of pizza places can hopefully start shooting some great social media content. But then once they've shot it, are there any like tools or apps or features that you know of that will help them to sort of edit it and turn it into a social media post?
First, if you're spending time in Instagram, particularly in Instagram stories, I highly encourage folks to check out just the native camera and native tools. So you could take photos and videos, you can take boomerang, you can use layout, you can add stickers, you can add text. There's a treasure trove of different features and tools that you can use that are right in the Instagram app. So I'd say like get started feeling comfortable there. And then a couple of tools or apps that we really like that are, free or freemium, so low to no cost. For stories, love Mojo, love Over. It's a great way to utilize templates. And when you take your photos and upload them, it actually will add motion so that if you don't feel comfortable yet taking video content, uploading your photos, the apps will then turn it into video for you. So really lightweight. And then you can start to add copy over it. So if you are introducing a BOGO offer, you can include that offer. Pick one font, don't go crazy. So pick one font and include what your offer is. It also gives you an option to upload and add your logo into that. So really easy, gives you like Photoshop level editing features without having to know all of the ins and outs of Photoshop. And then for feed, quickly plug Canva. I think that's an amazing tool for small businesses that we love. Lots of great templates for Facebook posts, Instagram posts, stories. You can add lightweight motion. You can add your colors. You can add your logo. A lot of good things to play around in there. And they've got desktop version if you're more comfortable on your computer, but they also have great, really robust apps so that you can kind of access those features as well on the go.
Awesome. That's super helpful. And I hope people were taking notes on all those cool apps and features to take advantage of. Are there any other sort of features or things that pizzerias should test? Because I know, once you get started, you're going to want to test a lot of different things. So is there anything else that you'd recommend on sort of the testing or try this out, or anything else that you recommend before we wrap up?
Yeah, so testing and learning and then optimizing from those tests is such an important part of your success on Facebook and Instagram. So a couple of things I'd recommend trying. Make sure that you have your order now button set up on your profile. So if you're using Slice, that order now button will actually open up the Slice interface right to your menu so people can order and complete their transaction. It's super seamless for you. It works the same way as if they'd be ordering directly from the Slice app. So that's a great way to give people a one-stop seamless way to order from you. In Instagram, we have some great stickers. So if you're sharing a photo of that pizza soda combo, you can put the order now sticker on there, and it'll again give you the opportunity to then just go and place the order for that combo deal. So try out those. Also, Reels is something in Instagram that seems really daunting for small businesses, but there's no wrong way to make a Reels. Do it however feels right to you. And you can, I think with pizza, there's this like sensory moment to it, and Reels is an audio sound on environment. So think about like the crunch of the pizza wheel going through the crust, or, that slurp of hot cheese, like all of that stuff that's just like, oh my God, I need to eat pizza. Like that really comes to life in a Reels environment. So play around with there. Like you don't have to do those crazy effects that you probably see influencers do right away. Like make one that's super simple, get comfortable with the tools, but that's super fun. Consider lives, where you actually have like a Facebook Live where you're making, 50 pizzas for an event that you're catering or something. So just, the biggest thing is, like I said in the beginning, these tools are free to use. So take advantage of them, test them, try them. They're really low risk, build your confidence. And, the only wrong way to create content on Facebook and Instagram is to not create content for Facebook and Instagram. So just get started.
That was so helpful. I love that you plugged Reels and Live, because I know for local businesses, the more different feeds they're in, the more likely they are to show to as many sort of local customers as possible. So thank you so much for these amazing insights, Mallory. Thank you everyone joining us, and thank you for your interest and support for Slice.